Hi, I'm Casey.
And I'm Seth.
And we're Fig for a Kiss. And we're Fader Plug's highlight of the month. Well, Seth and I met at Eastern University, and actually we met through the theater department.
Yeah.
We were both in theater together, and I was kind of this was freshman year at the time. I was kind of looking for someone to play my fiddle with. I didn't know of any other, traditional Irish players or anything like that, so.
And I wasn't a traditional Irish player, but I really have always enjoyed the Irish music, and I was just kind of looking for someone to play with.
And I think we met up at we kind of organized this jam session with a friend of ours, and Seth and I met there, and we were kind of just playing on a patio outside, and so I found him, and I was like, "You're gonna play Celtic music with me." So the rest is a blur. No, and then we started playing regularly together. We started playing coffee houses at college, and that's kind of how it all started.
And then I got a job locally and just kind of realized that she lived near after I left college and started practicing up again. And about a year ago, yeah.
We kind of formed Fig for a Kiss officially and have been going ever since pretty steadily. Yeah, so I've been playing Celtic music, Irish music, whatever, since I was about 14. I started taking Celtic lessons from a woman named Alison Gillespie, who's huge in the Lehigh Valley, and she's got a lot of students around here. I think the Celtic community around here is really prominent in Bethlehem specifically, partly because of Celtic Classic and the Celtic Cultural Alliance around the area. So I started taking Celtic lessons when I was 14. And then didn't really, kind of focus on that until I got to college and was doing my own thing and got more into it. And then that's when I met Seth, and we just kind of, I think it was a good way for us to keep the motivation going to play that type of music.
One of my favorites was during Celtic Classic, actually playing outside Hotel Bethlehem right there.
Yeah, just because it was kind of spontaneous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Outside Hotel. Last year when we were hired to play at Hotel Bethlehem. Kind of closed out the festival.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite experiences, and I'm going to just slide this in, one of my favorite experiences was playing Bob's Duck, which is a homegrown music festival that we have at my parents' house in Coopersburg. So, and that's really the reason that we formed Fig for a Kiss, because it was March at the time. This festival is going to be in June, and we really wanted to play. We wanted to be a part of it, and so we said, okay, well, let's start practicing, putting some material together, and that was the motivation for it to begin with. So that is a favorite memory of mine for sure.
We don't typically, while we're playing, I'm used to hearing protection. I use hearing protection at work. I work for Martin Guitar down in the machine shop.
Okay.
And it's very, very loud down there. So we're required to wear hearing protection daily.
I mean, I don't use too much hearing protection in my, everyday life. Acoustic music, we're not too loud. But
I have used hearing protection in louder situations, but for us with acoustic, like she said, acoustic music, it's just not as intense.
Yeah. Right. I could see. I mean, I just went to a music festival this past weekend. I could see that being a huge, what's it called? Advantage.
Yeah, to have, right.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think they really take their hearing for granted. We've grown up listening to really loud music from our headphones to, music festivals. So I think, we might not have seen the effects yet on our generation, but I think we definitely will. That's just how I feel. I think
I have friends at work.
It's got to be causing damage.
I have friends at work who are my age who are already losing the hearing. We have to do hearing tests once a year, and there are people, and then there are people who have worked for a long time, neglect their hearing aids, or go to concerts constantly, and they have lost a good portion of their hearing. there's definitely a stigma. There's definitely a, oh, I don't need hearing protection. I'm young. I've heard that a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah, my hearing's great. I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
It's not a popular thing to,
Right.
right now to have, you know, something in your ear and
Nobody wants to
to
be
protect
the
yourself. but-
person at the concert wearing the big orange fluffy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you don't want to walk around wearing huge headphones.
If there was a product that was different from the big fluffy earplugs that stick out of your ear and draw attention, if there was a product, would you wear that earplug that didn't draw a lot of attention to you and that was aesthetically pleasing?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just drum up less conversation to begin with, you know, just, you know, nobody's asking why you're wearing giant headphones on your head.
Well, and I've definitely had the situation where I'm at a concert and people are trying to talk to me or whatever, and I can't hear anything
Yeah.
over the band. I can't even
Right.
really hear the band. It's so loud at that point that it's
Just
almost
noise.
yeah.
From my perspective, I'm still like figuring that out, I would say. And I think we are together, and I think we constantly are figuring that out. You know, I come from a traditional Irish music background somewhat, but not to the extent where a lot of kids were growing up going to music sessions all their life, and it's sort of almost more like a native language for them, whereas for me, a lot of times I feel like it's like a second language. But I still see a lot of value in that, and I think it's a great way for me to express myself and for us to create together and keep that
Second language
relationship going.
is a good analogy, especially since I've played guitar most of my life, but I didn't start with Celtic music.
Yeah.
But it has gotten to a point where I now hardly play anything that's not
Right.
Celtic.
Yes, Seth, when did you start playing instruments and getting involved?
I was 8, I think, and I bought my first guitar off eBay for $10.
Nice.
And I
Talk
just,
about a deal.
my dad had played a little bit, still plays a little bit, but just not that much. He spent about an hour with me, and then I just kind of
You
taught
took off.
myself from that point on.